The X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Good evening, one and all, and welcome to the X-Zone. My name is Rob McConnell, and for the next 4 hours, I'm your host and your guide as together we cross the time-space continuum together to this place that I call the X-Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, and the X-Zone comes to you Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until 2 a.m. Eastern, right here on the Talkstar Radio Network and our fine family of broadcast affiliates across Canada, the United States, Central America, the Caribbean, South America, the Pacific Rim, 20 Asian countries, and now right across Europe. If you'd like to give us a call, our toll-free number is 1-877-528-8255. That's toll-free throughout the U.S., Canada, Alaska, and Hawaii at 1-877-528-8255. My email address is xzone@talkstarradio.com. On MSN Messenger, you can chat with me here in our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, by using the MSN address talkstarradio@hotmail.com. And our website's www.xzoneradio.com. That's our main website. www.xzonetv is where you can watch and listen to us live from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. And our merchandise store, xzonestore.com. Joining me in a few moments, Pattie Freeman is our first guest tonight. We're going to be talking about hypnosis, mind control, and the CIA. Hour number 2, Ann Robles will be joining me. She's a psychic teacher, medium, spiritual healer, and life coach. And hour number 3, Psychic Ellen joins us. We're going to be talking about what it's like to be a psychic metaphysician, interpreter of dreams, empath, and we're going to ask questions pertaining to psychic ability around the world and how different people handle their psychic abilities. And in hour number 4, Cal Korff will be joining me from the Czech Republic in the beautiful city of Prague, Czechoslovakia. And we're going to be discussing everything from Billy Meyer to Bigfoot tonight. That's here on the X-Zone. Once again, 1-877-528-8255. That is toll-free throughout the U.S., Canada, Alaska, and Hawaii. My email address is xzone@talkstarradio.com. And, of course, on MSN Messenger, talkstarradio@hotmail.com. My producer tonight at Master Control is the one and only Gotham City Kid himself, Batman. Nice working with you, Batman. You got the night off tomorrow night, buddy? You do, eh? I believe we've got the Green Hornet in the studios in the chair of the first officer tomorrow night. And tomorrow night we're going to be talking about everything from healing people over the telephone to the crystal skulls. Great lineup tomorrow night. My first guest tonight is Pattie Freeman. She is a Master Certified Hypnotherapist and resides in Arizona. Pattie has an office in Scottsdale where she sees clients for various cases, from weight loss to regression to UFO experiences to CIA abductions. She also uses hypnosis by phone, helping people just by her voice. Very effective, and her methods have been proven to be 97% effective concerning matters of the mind. Now, since hypnosis is a natural state of mind, she has been written in various publications and has her own line of CDs and books. Pattie has been seen on the Best Damn Sports Show, period, successfully hypnotized Rob Dibble, and currently has other athletes enhancing their sports techniques. And Pattie, welcome to the X-Zone. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Pattie, how did you get started doing hypnosis? And what was your motivation?
Well, I've always was interested in the mind and how things work, and you know how you go to those fairs and see people hypnotizing people, and you think they're setups or, plants.
Yeah.
And I just was so interested that I started studying with a psychologist out in Phoenix and started taking courses and classes in between working, and I was just so wrapped up in it that I just started being a hypnotist.
All right, Patty, you and I have to take a 2-minute break. We'll be right back. Pattie Freeman's our special guest, and her website is hypnosisbypattie.com. My name's Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone, and we're talking about hypnosis, mind control, and the CIA in this first hour of the X Zone, coming to you live and around the world on the Talkstar Radio Network from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.
Take a step back in time and discover old Florida cuisine at Marsh Landing Restaurant in Fellsmere. Enjoy delicacies such as frog legs, gator tail, catfish, and swamp cabbage, or enjoy the more traditional cuisine like hand-cut Angus steaks, ribs, and seafood. Join us for breakfast with a southern flair featuring sweet potato pancakes, biscuits, and gravy, and much more. Planning a party? Marsh Landing's private dining room can accommodate groups from 8 to 80 people. While you're visiting, enjoy the historic pictures, artifacts, and stories that line the walls. Marsh Landing is truly a unique experience. Marsh Landing Restaurant, 44 North Broadway in historic Fellsmere, or visit marshlandingrestaurant.com. Marsh Landing, old Florida cuisine at its best.
Hi, this is Larry Lawson, host of Paranormal Stakeout, here on the X Zone Broadcast Network. I would like to invite all of our listeners to the second annual Para-Unity Conference, January 27th through the 29th in Fellsmere, Florida. We have some exciting speakers, including Brian Cano from The Haunted Collector, author Andrea Perrin, whose book inspired the hit movie The Conjuring, and our own Rob McConnell. There are events for the public as well as opportunities for paranormal teams to come together to share information. We also have opportunities for our guests to participate in some investigations of Fellsmere's most haunted locations. Check out my website at www.paranormalstakeout.com or www.paranormalfbi.com for times and details. Hope to see you there.
Are you interested in the paranormal, ghosts, UFOs, or psychic phenomenon? Join me, Tim Bartley, co-host of Talking to Spirits with Lightworkers Tim and Justina, coming mid-January 2017 to the XZBN. We will channel spirits live and talk to them, revealing all kinds of amazing information. Spiritual attachments will be found and removed on the show, and so much more. To find out when you can listen to Talking to Spirits with Lightworkers Tim and Justina, visit www.xzbn.net for listeners on both sides of the veil.
And welcome back to the X Zone. Pattie Freeman is our special guest. And Pattie, what is hypnosis really? Seems to be a lot of misconceptions about what it is. A lot of people think it's, come on, it's all a stage show. But there are other people who have actually been helped by the services of a trained and qualified hypnotherapist like yourself.
Well, hypnosis is a natural state of mind. I always tell people when they think, you're going to control their mind or you're going to take over their thoughts, that's not necessarily true. It's your own doing. I'm just a facilitator to help you get to where you're going and whatever you want to reach in your goals or what you want to enhance in your life. Hypnosis is something like, to give you an example, like highway hypnosis I use a lot. It's like when you're driving down the road and you're thinking about something else and you're just going down the road and you go and you miss your exit. That's a form of hypnosis. Or just like the guys watching TV and their wife's telling them or their girlfriend's telling them, oh, honey, do this for me. And they're so fixed on that TV show. And the same thing with the kids.
No. That's not hypnosis when the wife tells you to do something and you don't hear her. That's on purpose.
You can use that as an excuse, but yeah.
Yeah, they don't buy it, believe me. I've tried that so many times.
But it's like when you're just fixed on something
Yes.
for a short period of time, because hypnosis, they think that you're totally out.
Yeah.
You don't hear nothing, you're snoozing, you're gone. And that's not true. With hypnosis, you hear everything that I tell you. You'll hear your senses kind of keen into different things in the room. You talk to me under hypnosis, everything. And it's like they said it didn't work when they leave because I can't understand. I heard everything you said. I hear the music. I hear that. And it works. They can't figure it out. So it's just a natural state of mind.
Is daydreaming a hypnotic state?
Yes. It's like when the kids look out the window at school and they're thinking about something. That's exactly. It's like your mind can think of 7 things at one time, but only can do one. So you're in hypnosis most of the time. Sometimes I tell people, and it's strange because they all think it's a completely mind control, and it's not.
Tell me, what type of clients do you see?
Oh, I see all different ones. I see people that come into me for like weight loss and smoking, and then I see the ultimate different things that take a little more time, regression with people that have a deja vu type of thing going on in their life, and like they don't understand why they're focused on certain things of a period in life, like the Renaissance type or the battles of the wars and things like that. And then I've had people that come to me and says that they had loss of time and they were in a certain area and they woke up and the time has been gone and they're having strange dreams and they felt a UFO was there. Other people have come to me just recently. A couple have come to me with CIA. They think that they've been their mind has been restricted to certain things that the CIA want them to believe. So they think it's a mind control sort of thing. And they've come with very good, credentials of things that have been happening. Because I research after I get done with the client, I research to find out what they're thinking and what they're doing if it's true. Because your mind can't play games with you.
Now, I know highway hypnosis for a fact because I used to drive the Toronto-Montreal corridor for a while. And, you get to know the roads so well, or your mind starts wandering, and the next thing you know, you've done 30, 40 miles.
Right.
That's quite common. What other examples of hypnosis can you give us?
It's just all different sorts of things. It's like I said that, or it's like this is very good. It happens to everybody. Have you ever lost your keys?
Yep.
Or lost something in the house, and you're looking all over for them, and you put them right there on that table, or you put them right there on that hook, and you look all over it, and maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, you come by, and they're sitting, and you go, how did that happen? I know I put them here. How did And that happens to a lot of people. They put them somewhere, and then they forget. It's kind of like a abstract hypnosis where it's kind of when you're stressed out and you're looking too hard for something, your mind just goes blank, and it's not there, and it's there.
Geez, I'm going to have to tell my wife that. She says it's old age creeping up on me.
Memory, right? No.
1-877-528-8255 is toll free throughout the U.S., Canada, Alaska, and Hawaii. My very special guest this first hour of tonight's show, X-Zone Nation, is Pattie Freeman. And we're talking about hypnosis and the CIA and mind control. Now, is hypnosis or can hypnosis be used as mind control?
Well, your mind, certain people can get hypnotized more, I shouldn't say easier, but are more acceptable to hypnosis than others. Everybody can be hypnotized. It's just the people that are more analytical. And the ones that let their mind just let go, I can't say you can control their mind, but you can definitely put some suggestions in there. And you can possibly, I've never done that, but I've heard of people stating to a point where they went to one extreme and it stayed with them. But after a while, it just wears off. It cannot stay with you for a long period of time of doing anything against your will. Because I can't make anybody do anything they don't want to do.
All right, I was just going to ask you that. If somebody does not want to be hypnotized, can you hypnotize them?
No. If they come to my shows, because I do shows, they'll come and say, just try to make me do it. Just try to. They go up there. I just don't even bother because I'm not here to prove I can hypnotize you. I'm here to have fun and show people you can be hypnotized.
I would imagine that people who go to a stage show like you put on go with the expectation of being hypnotized.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would think. But some of them are there that they're either dragged by their wives, come on, I got to go see the show.
See,
then they convince them to go on stage, and then they're all sitting there going, I don't really want to do this.
You see, the guys...
Or I get people that are so determined they don't want to be hypnotized, fighting me to a point where they actually go under hypnosis.
You see, the guys who get dragged there by their wives haven't learned the secret yet of just tuning them out.
Exactly.
Now, when you're hypnotizing someone and they're on stage, and what do you do? Make them cluck like a chicken? Stand on one leg, and what do you do?
Oh, there's a bunch of things we do. Well, we just do the simple things like to forget your name, like they forget their name and forget numbers to prove that it's amnesia, that it can happen. Because people sometimes go, anybody can act it out. But when you have someone on stage and you tell them to forget the number between 5 and 7, and they're counting and they're actually looking at you and looking at the audience like, I know that number. And then they say 11, that they have 11 fingers, or it's just an extra thumb that they're having, and, or they say the silliest things, and people go, oh my gosh, or they forget their name. They'll remember their last name but not their first name. Or I plug in a different name to them, and they walk around that whole evening saying their name was someone else's. It's kind of cute. But, we do different things. We make them dance, and we make them sing, and we just make them do crazy stuff.
Geez, you'd be dangerous at a family reunion.
Well, I can't make them do anything they don't want to do, though. I've had people sit on that stage and actually fall asleep on me and wake up in the middle of it looking at everybody else like they're silly. And I said, what do you think? And they said, oh, God, I can't be hypnotized. And I would tell them, snap my fingers, and I'd be totally under again. And that's like a deep sleep, so you don't want them that way. But I've had people on stage that just won't dance because of childhood memories, and have people that are funny, or they're actually extra funny when they're under hypnosis.
How about reincarnation and hypnosis? Do you hypnotize people and go into past life regression?
Yes, I do. I've had many people come to me with the things of telling me they feel that they need to watch these World War II movies, and they feel they're part of it, or they feel connected to someone that they're married to more than others, and they have flashbacks or dreams, and they don't know why they're having it, so they come to me. And when I do regression on it, you'd be surprised what we find. There's memories there. And so we either go in and, I don't want to say erase them, but kind of put them aside so it doesn't interfere with their life, or try to find out more about them for them so they could kind of see, like, what it's more about.
How does a hypnotist get someone to stop smoking, for example, or to lose weight? I find this amazing.
Well, weight loss, of course, is really big in America right now, actually everywhere, because obesity is like the number one thing. And weight loss is, people are on these crazy diets, and it's crazy out there. And hypnosis is very effective, and that's my large clientele. And what I do is I find out exactly where the source is coming from, if they're eating too much, or if they're eating sweets. Or my theory is I have a method where I have them write stuff down. And a lot of hypnotherapists don't do that. They just come in their office and do certain things. But when I say, if you tell your mind you're going to do something, you'll do it. But if you actually write it down, your mind's going to go, make a stop and go, whoa, we're going to do it this time. We're not going to talk about it. So if they write down what the problem is, then when they come to me and see me and they bring that pad of paper with them, we go through it. We have a little consultation, and then we sit down and we make a CD of it, so I give it to them to take home with them. But we go through and we kind of reorganize their thoughts, their priorities, and put what they're not supposed to do and what they're going to do. Like we substitute water, exercise, whatever they feel comfortable with. And it works.
So basically you purge the crap that they don't have to carry with them.
It's like old stuff that's been in their system for, like, you ever, like when we were kids, our moms used to say, you got to eat everything on your plate. There's hungry children everywhere. Or, don't put nothing on your plate, you're not going to finish. Or
my
you're
mom,
gonna put that, that kind of stuff. And a lot of us take it with us when you're older, and we don't think it, but we just do it.
My mom used to say there's children starving all over the world. My brother and I used to say, here's the postage, send it to them.
Never heard that one.
Listen, have you ever had green mashed potatoes on St. Patrick's Day?
No.
Have you ever had red mashed potatoes on Valentine's Day? Just think of what Halloween potatoes looked like. We used to send them in the post office, and then the post office would send it back saying, no thanks. We were barred from sending food to Biafra, for goodness sake.
But yeah, it's something that it's in your mind that we don't think about because it's a habit. Smoking's the same way. Anything that's a habit for more than 10 days can be really bad because if you do something for 10 days straight, it's like driving to work the same avenue, the same road, the same one day after another. Your car's on an automatic pilot coming home. It just knows its way. And sometimes you're on, boy, how did I get there? It's a habit.
You and I have to take a news break for let's see, a couple of minutes, and then in the commercial set, we'll be back. So don't go away, Patty. We're not getting rid of you yet. By the way, I feel very funny. I feel like standing on one leg and clucking like a chicken. I don't know why. 1-877-528-8255 is toll-free throughout the U.S., Canada, Alaska, and Hawaii. My name is Rob McConnell, and this is the X-Zone on the Talkstar Radio Network. Pattie Freeman's our special guest. Her website is hypnosisbypattie.com. Pattie Freeman, Batman, and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as the X-Zone continues from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, right here on Talkstar.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember, 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
We all desire health, happiness, and fulfillment, but often get in our own way. Repeated patterns that leave us out of control can keep us feeling powerless, frustrated, and unable to move forward in spite of our best efforts. Unconscious patterning disconnects us from our gifts, often destroying the very thing we seek. But there is an answer. We can take charge of our destiny and heal the trauma of our history. Shamanism is an effective ancient modality that can reconnect us with our true selves, empower the creation of our dreams, and return us to health and balance. Cody Alexander is a certified shamanic practitioner and teacher with 11 years' experience. Email healingpathways33@gmail.com or visit codyalexander.net to schedule a long-distance shamanic session today.
Pattie Freeman's my special guest this hour. She is a hypnotherapist. Her website is www.hypnosisbypattie.com. Pattie, what is the most strangest story dealing with hypnosis that you've had to work on?
Well, the strangest is probably the one that I was referred to. A psychologist called me because I do referrals, and he said that he had a lady that was from out of town, and for the last year she has been having nightmares and things happening to her that she felt that the CIA was controlling her mind, and which is unusual to me because I came across several of these about a year ago, and then they kind of just vanished, and it was kind of strange for me because usually I keep contact with my clients.
Sure.
And so I said, go ahead and send her. And I had to do some little bit of research on her because I wanted to make sure, it was legit and things like that, and she was. And it was like a 3-hour session I had with her, and she believed everything she told me. So, when people come to me, I don't ever doubt them because I always believe there's things out there we don't all know. So I have to have an open mind. So when she came, I listened to her, and she felt comfortable with me, and she told me things that were actually people from about a year ago had told me also, and they don't know each other. And so she went on and told me that she felt she was dating a CIA agent about a year ago, and she broke it off with him. And when she did that, she felt that CIA had brainwaves controlling her mind, the way she thinks, and she always felt that they were listening in on her.
Now, what threat to national security could she have been, where the CIA was actually interested in her to that extreme that they would set her up with an agent to go out with and then control her mind?
Exactly. That's what I was trying to find out. What did she know?
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
I asked her, what did you used to do in the past? And she told me it was nothing like governmental issue. But I think what made it worse for her is instead of going and seeking help to find out if she was the only one, she researched it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And she had found government documents about the CIA using mind control, which everyone knows about that.
Sure.
And she talked about that with me, and I said, yeah, I know about that. I said, well, that was a way long time ago. And she said, no, they're still doing it. And she met other people from she went to Australia. She traveled to Australia, Alaska, Hawaii, across, I think she went to Rome and Spain. There's people out there having the same symptoms she was having and the same dreams and all these things. And she was getting phone calls. Her internet would go off if she'd be typing me something, and her phone wouldn't work right. It would disconnect. And she just felt that what she ended up doing, she kept on writing letters to the government and writing letters to the CIA and writing letters to Arizona's government, telling them she was not threatening them, but saying how she felt threatened. So only two things they would think, either that she's loony or she's serious. Or if it was really them tapping into her, then they were trying to protect whatever they had to do, whatever she knew. So that was kind of a sticky situation for me.
Well, for one thing, the experiments that the CIA conducted on mind control, sleep deprivation, and the use of LSD goes back to the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you had to be... The CIA was doing experimentation on patients here in Canada at the Allen Memorial Institute, Dr. Ewan
Mm-hmm.
Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
So in order for the experiments to be conducted, she would have to have been part of a test group or been recruited or in some way been indoctrinated into a CIA experimentation. Where does paranoia come in here? Like, you know, if people, for one reason or another, she's going out with a CIA agent, the affair or the relationship is broken off, she feels rejected, things start happening, and is this where paranoia starts happening?
And schizophrenic, we thought, you know, and I've called other hypnotherapists and psychologists, and the psychologist that seen her felt that she was not a threat to herself or anyone else, but he just says, you know, he's run across a few like this, but not such extreme.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted me to do a regression on her, and felt that since I had more experience with the regression and he doesn't like messing with it, he says, why don't you try and see what you can get from her?
Mm-hmm.
And we did a time lapse where we go all the way back to when it started, and then went a little bit further back where she was actually normal than before coming to Arizona. And then when she got here, she got a little bit worse than what she was when she arrived. And we got her in a regression, and when we got her to the regression state, things started changing. Her, just the way when she was laying on the couch, you know, her attitude, her mechanisms, everything just changed. And in her inner mind, that's what she thought. And she was recalling certain things. She was calling shadows that she'd seen in her house late at night, how she felt the ticking on the phone. There's certain things that she was, she felt like electronic shock through her body, like she felt there was a vibration in her mind. It was kind of interesting. And then when I got her out of it, she doesn't remember what she told me.
Is that normal?
No, usually they remember, because I have them talking during regression, because usually regression I like for them to remember it,
mm-hmm.
and I record it, because then they can go back and listen to the tape again if they don't remember the fine points. And most of them remember it, but she didn't remember even going under, which is unusual on a regression.
That's really strange.
But in her thought, she says, I asked her about UFOs, because I'm
mm-hmm.
thinking, is interesting. Maybe it's something else. And she says, oh, no, the government don't believe in UFOs. It's just a deterrence for us. And stuff like that. Okay. And so we wouldn't go on that path, you know, so I kind of hit like all the paths. Mm-hmm. And after seeing her a couple times, I had to withdraw from seeing her because it got so worse. She got to be calling me 24 hours a day.
So she developed a dependency on you.
Right, because she felt I had all her answers. And I didn't have her answers. What I was having is trying to help her find her answers for her through regression. And we were making a lot of progress. But in the point, she felt that I could just, you know, open her life up to make it better, which we did. I regressed her to a point where I let her just have amnesia from that point. So she wouldn't remember none of that. And it cleared up for her, but there was certain things that would cue her in, you know, as anchors, and they would, what they call anchors. And anchors is something like that you use with sessions, like if I would say a certain word, or it's like a deja vu or something, it would trigger something in her mind. It would make her think of it. Well, she was having these triggers happen on and off during the day. So it was, so whatever I was trying to do, she would get these triggers and would take it right back again.
Have you ever dealt with someone who claimed to have been abducted by aliens?
Yes.
How do you deal with these different types of cases?
On a one-on-one basis. You know, they're all different. Even though when they come to me, they totally believe in it, which is fine, you know. And the thing is, they're so vivid, and a lot of times I question it myself because I believe there's things out there that we don't know about.
Sure.
And, I mean, because, I mean, it's not, we know everything, and there's got to be something out there, and they come in, it's so vivid, it's just, it's too incredible. I believe your mind has such an imagination, and it can imagine things, you know, it's beyond our belief. Mm-hmm. Well, theirs is way beyond that. It's so detailed. It's amazing.
1-877-528-8255 is toll-free throughout the U.S., Canada, Alaska, and Hawaii. My name is Rob McConnell, and this is the X-Zone on the Talkstar Radio Network. My special guest is Pattie Freeman, and she is a hypnotherapist, a Master Certified Hypnotherapist, and she resides in Arizona. And she has an office in Scottsdale where she sees clients for various reasons, from weight loss to regression to UFO experiences and CIA abductions. If you'd like to contact Pattie for a one-on-one consultation, whether it's to, if you'd like to contact her in order to get rid of some problems that you may have or some habits you want to break, her website is www.hypnosisbypattie.com, or her office telephone number is 520-280-1346. That's 520-280-1346. Pattie, when dealing with people who believe that they have been abducted by aliens or that they are under mind control of the CIA, are there any common threads? Are there any similarities in the stories? Are there any similarities in the psychological makeup of the person?
What do you mean, in the story or into the actual person?
Both.
The stories are very similar, and it's strange is because when I take the notes on them, I don't lead them or anything. I let them do the talking. And then usually if someone, I believe, when I have a client, if someone is coming to me with a story saying they were abducted or they thought they were abducted, I write everything that they tell me down, and it's in my consultation. And then when I put them under the regression, I try to go back to see if, when they talk to me, if they come out with the same thing or more detailed. And more likely they stay on the same story. They're a lot more detailed on the regression. They remember more things. And the makeup of the person, it could be men, women. It doesn't matter. They're all different age groups. It's not just one type of person that comes to me. And the funny part is there are a lot of professionals that I see, executives that have these experiences, and there's a lot of homemakers and just regular workers that see it. So it's not like one type of person that comes to me.
Before you and I were talking about the show that you do on stage, and you actually get people to forget their names. Can that work in reverse? For example, with Alzheimer's patients, can hypnosis be used on a patient and have them reactivate their memory?
To a point, if they would, but the thing is, they would have to remember the details. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say if let's say if you had a mom or an aunt and they remembered something from the past, and most Alzheimer's patients remember things vividly from the past, but they don't remember recent things, because they dwell on the things from the past. Mm-hmm. But the more recent things is what you want them to get. The mind kind of deteriorates to a point, but you can probably insert things to them, but their mind would have to be very active.
Okay, now, how about kids at school? Can hypnosis help a child who has failing grades or is losing interest in school?
Oh, we do that all the time, yeah. I do a lot. Matter of fact, tomorrow I have a show at a high school, and we use it for, we call it visualization because parents look at hypnosis as the evil eye kind of thing, and, so we call it visualizations, but we use it on football teams. We use it in studies. When I do college shows, I use that for their sports and for them to get better grades at studying when they cram for the big test. And so they can be a lot smarter, a lot better at what they do. They can memorize a little bit better, keep the knowledge in there a little bit longer. So when they go take the test, they'll recall a lot better. And we do that we'll tell them with the word now. If they tell themselves now or write it down, the information will come to their head a little quicker, or they'll remember things a little bit faster than they used to. And it works.
Excellent. How about children, smaller children, who have been involved in a domestic violence or domestic abuse situation? Can hypnosis be used to help these children at an early age so that the scars won't be as drastic on them as they get older?
Yeah, because a lot of the kids, they hold it in, when they see something, or if they're abused themselves, they hold it in, and then later in life, then they remember, and that's why, because they hold it into a point where they cannot, they don't want to remember.
They carry all this luggage around.
Yeah, and if they don't, and then when they get 30, 40 years old, they can't understand why they can't have relationships, or why they get divorced so many times, or why they can't get close to someone because of the abuse. Well, if they go in, and if they're young enough where you tell them it's nothing to be afraid of, you can go in, let them know what it's about, and help them. And once they remember, then you can go in there and just let them forget it and let go of it. And once they let go of it, then they can go on with their lives.
Can hypnotherapy be used in anger management?
Oh, yes, a lot of times. The courts usually recommend anger management, and they'll either call me or have a referral to me, and they come. Because a lot of anger is because of an abuse situation at home. A lot of it is that they've seen their mom or their dad like that, and they had to hold it in. So now they take it out on other people. They felt it was okay for them to do that because their parents have done it, or they've been with another spouse that's been like that, and they held it in, and that's what the anger comes from.
Patty, please stand by. You and I have to take our final break for this hour. Still to come on tonight's show, X Zone Nation, we're going to be speaking to Anna Rubbles. She is a psychic teacher, medium, spiritual healer, and life coach. We're also going to be chatting with Ellen from Premier Psychics about what it's like to be a psychic. We're going to talk to her about metaphysics and dream interpretation. And in the final hour tonight, Cal Korff will be joining me from the city of Prague in the Czech Republic. 1-877-528-8255 is toll-free throughout the U.S., Canada, Alaska, and Hawaii. My email address is xzone@talkstarradio.com. On MSN Messenger, talkstarradio@hotmail.com. And our websites, www.xzoneradio.com and xzonetv.com. My name's Rob McConnell. Pattie Freeman and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break as the X Zone continues from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the Talkstar Radio Network. Don't go away.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
19 Sergeant Central. 19 Sergeant, check. Officers on the scene.
Hi, I'm Larry Lawson, host of Paranormal Stakeout. With over 36 years in law enforcement, I have learned a few things. The most important is the proper gathering and preservation of evidence is vital to putting the bad guy behind bars. It's no different in the world of paranormal investigation. Whether it's the search for the afterlife, cryptozoology, UFOs, and extraterrestrials, how we gather the evidence, preserve that evidence, and present it to a jury of our peers will make the ultimate difference in proving the existence of worlds and entities that are beyond our imagination. Join me, Larry Lawson, every week on Paranormal Stakeout when, along with my guests, we'll take a journey to prove with indisputable evidence what man has struggled to believe for centuries. Go to xzbn.net for the broadcast schedule and check me out at paranormalstakeout.com.
True healing must address 4 levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, for us to live joyful and productive lives. We tend to treat 3 of the 4, leaving the spiritual languishing. If you're tired of the same dysfunctional patterns cropping up in your life, Soul Balancing is for you. Trixie Phelps, owner and founder of Soul Balancing, is a naturally gifted energy healer trained in numerous esoteric forms, including shamanism. Trixie has created a powerful modality that safely and effectively clears your energetic field. A soul balancing session can remove interference, heal trauma, and restore your hope. Contact Trixie for a life-changing long-distance session today, www.soulbalancing.world.
And welcome back, X-Zone. We have a legend coming on the show in a couple of weeks. You remember the song Peggy Sue? Geez, now I've got myself wondering what the name of the song is. By Buddy Holly. What was it, Peggy Sue? Batman, any idea? We'll have to check this out. Anyway, I'll tell you more about... I'll tell you about that in a few more minutes because it's a riveting story. It's going to bring back a lot of memories, and I'm telling you, it's rather unique. Our guest this hour is Pattie Freeman. She's a hypnotherapist, and she is in Scottsdale, Arizona. And if you'd like to contact Pattie, there's 2 ways to do it. You can go to her website at www.hypnosisbypattie.com, or you can give her a call in her office in Scottsdale at 520-280-1346. First of all, Pattie, I want to thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure and a learning experience having you on the show tonight. What would you like to leave our listeners with?
Well, I'm always a positive thinker, and I always tell my clients, if you want something, go for it. Just do it. And change your life. Just do it, because a lot of people think it and dream it. I always say, if you desire it and want it, just do it, and it'll come your way.
My philosophy is the only difference between a dream and reality is making it happen.
Right, and that's true. Is you got to just let it happen. A lot of people they sabotage their own life. They sabotage their own careers by being afraid to do something. And I always say, it's better to do it and fail than have never done it at all and don't succeed. Because to me, if you try it, you succeeded. If you don't try it, you didn't try it. So that's failure to me.
And a lot of people, as much as positive reinforcement brings good into your life, if you're a worrywart and you keep on worrying and saying, oh, the world is against me, everybody's against me, I can't succeed, this, that, you are just painting yourself into that lifestyle.
Well, you're bringing it to you. I always say negative brings negative, and I always try to focus putting positive people around me. And when I do that, a lot of positive happens. We did like a little experiment one time. I put a lot of negative. I didn't force it. I just kind of like took a survey and had a couple of negative people that are always around me. And it turned out that nothing went right that day. My attitude was bad. And when I went and did more positive, just wonderful things happened. So it kind of goes on your mind. If positives around you, you're going to get it.
Pattie, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
And
thank you for having me.
Look forward to speaking to you again in the future.
Sure do. Thank you so much for having me.
Take care now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. 1-877-528-8255 is toll-free. By the way, the song is Peggy Sue by Buddy Holly. Well, we have Peggy Sue herself coming on the show on Monday, May the 12th in the first hour. Peggy Sue Garon is her name now. And Peggy Sue from the Peggy Sue song by Buddy Holly will be here on the X-Zone with some fascinating stories to share. I had the pleasure of talking with her this afternoon, and she is a very gracious lady. When we come back from the news at the top of the hour at 6.5 minutes past, I'll be joined by Anna Robles. We're going to be talking about what it's like being a psychic teacher, a medium, spiritual healer, and life coach. All this and more as the X-Zone continues live and around the world from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, exclusively on Talkstar.